another story there. But anyways, Coach G's a legend. 11 titles, 20 Final Four appearances. This dude's a legend, and he is loved. They embraced him. They congratulated him for his on his birthday. So just really good to see Coach G back where he's supposed to be as they gear up for the Sweet 16. Let's go, UConn.
Hey, Carolina Disco Turkeys, independent league out of Winston-Salem, independent team, unveiled their logo yesterday. Features a little John Travolta outfit and a bird pointing a la Babe Ruth, got a little scowl on his face. At least it sounds like fun for the whole family. Press release said games will include in-game entertainment, a disco turkey mascot, and concessions that feature a disco turkey leg. And I know what you're thinking. Finally, a family-friendly event where I can eat the mascot. They don't let you do that in other ballparks. You just say, hey, let me get that Blue Jay burger. No go. Let me get the popcorn. Let me get the fried. Let me get the fried Oreos. What? Oh, they're cookies. They're not the bird. No. I'll pass then. Clarification though. I did a little more research. The disco turkey, actually just local slang for a peacock in the Carolinas. So alas, if you want to eat the mascot, you got to stick with the Miami Marlins.
How much time did Wild spend researching
Fire the marketer.
See, I'm not the only one where workshops are needed. I'm not the only one. Time for drawing a blank now. Richard Sherman, still a free agent. Get this, reportedly open to a reunion with Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson up in Seattle. Wouldn't that be something? So, Brandon, Richard Sherman back to Seattle would be blank. You can't say something.
Well, that'd be an easy commute for him. He still lives in Seattle, so he still has his house there. Voice of reason. I truly believe that. For Coach Pete Carroll, you got to think about Coach, man. We've been saying it for a couple of months. He keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, it worked in college. It worked early on in his tenure back with Seattle. But now everybody knows the book is out on Pete Carroll. I love Coach Pete Carroll. Coach Pete Carroll, I love you. I've been crushing you for a couple months. You know I love you. You know me and you have a phenomenal relationship. But I gotta keep it real, Coach. You gotta change up your defense, please. I love what you did the second half of the season when you start blitzing corners and you start doing the little things off script, and it start working. You went from the worst defense in NFL history to a pretty good defense, a defense that can compete. So if you bring this guy back, which I know you like him and respect him, he can sit down with you and say, Coach, maybe we can change a few things. And he may be able to tell you and convince you to keep Russell Wilson happy. Yeah. That's what it is, voice of reason, Nick.
Yeah, I don't know that Brandon and Pete Carroll actually still have a tremendous relationship. I know Brandon wants them to, and on Brandon's end, he thinks it is, but Pete Carroll hasn't been flaming Brandon about twice a week for the last 3 months. So I might check in on the maintenance of that relationship. Yeah, call him and see. I say Wilds would be counterproductive. Russell Wilson this whole thing is about Russell Wilson trying to turn the page into a new era of Russell Wilson-based Seahawks football. So bringing back the face of the previous era, even if he's still a good player, and just 2 years ago, he was one of the best corners in football before he got injured last year, and I think he is a good player. Even if it would help you on the field, I think Wilds, it could be counterproductive to what they're trying to do overall. So that's my answer.
I buy that, but I just love players coming back. I like Kyle Van Noy coming back to the Patriots. I like Richard Sherman going back to the Seahawks. Hey, will he be able to block for Russell Wilson? Probably not. We talked about it maybe moving to safety. Probably won't be able to move to offensive line, though, Jenna.
All right, let's move on to Indianapolis now, where the Colts, spending their cap money, bringing T.Y. Hilton back. Signed the receiver to a one-year, $10 million deal yesterday. Hey, Brandon, T.Y.'s return to Indy should have quarterback Carson Wentz feeling blank.
Truly loved. Come on, Jenna. He just left the city of brotherly love. But is it really brotherly love in Philadelphia? Please. You have one bad game. Shoot, one bad quarter in Philly, they start booing you. So now He's in Indy with a phenomenal general manager, a phenomenal head coach, a defense, an offensive line, a running back, and then they go back out and get this man right here who has 10,000 yards on his career. Man, he should feel love, right, Nick?
I don't know. I think you should feel average, and that's not a bad thing. Here's the deal. T.Y. Hilton's had a very good career, but in 2021, if T.Y. Hilton's your number one receiver, you have an average number one receiver. The position's as deep as it's ever been. But average is not a bad thing for Carson Wentz, Wilds. If Carson Wentz this year can be average, if he can be the 16th best quarterback in the NFL, the culture in great shape. That's about what they had last year, and they damn near beat the Bills in the playoffs. They won 11 games. The defense should be actually better. The offensive line should still be great. So I think it should have him feeling average because they should be shooting to have an average passing attack, which if they do with the rest of that team, that'll be a very dangerous team, Lawrence.
Yeah, I said protected. He looks around, he's like, oh, look at this. A better wide receiver, T.Y. Hilton. My offensive line, you guys only got Phillip Rivers sacked 16 times. I got sacked 50 times. And our old friend, Jonathan Taylor, go Badgers. He's got a bunch of weapons now. I think he's going to be slightly above average. Not fantastic, but slightly above average, Jenna.
Well, Cam Newton's hoping that his people around him are slightly above average. In New England, Cam joining some of his receivers out in California for some off-season work, trying to all get on the same page. Free agent additions, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Hunter Henry, all putting the work in. So, Brandon, Cam's favorite new offensive weapon, you think, will be blank.
Ooh, you missed a couple more because they signed, what, like 35 people this offseason? Yeah, so you missed a couple. There's a lot of guys to pick from. You know who I'm going to go with, Jenna? I'm going to go with Cameron Newton. Man, that's the guy. He got to bet on himself. Think about this. This dude, he is a legend. He's not going to throw for 4,000 yards. He's only done that once, and that was his rookie year. But he was dominant on third down, Mr. Efficient. On third down, he was dominant in the red zone. He have thrown for 30 touchdowns before because he had tight ends. So now when you look at the makeup of this team, who they brought in, with this guy now honing back into the fundamentals, I got to go with him. He should be betting on himself. He should be excited. This is, you know what, I told you so moment for Cam Newton. Everybody's talking about your arm. Everybody's saying you're done. Now you have what you need. You have great coaches, and you have good players around you. Go get it done, and now go tell all of us, shut up and sit down.
All right, my answer is Jonnu Smith. You mentioned the 30-touchdown year. Greg Olsen was a huge part of it. I think Jonnu Smith will be Cam's most reliable weapon. And I know we're showing Jonnu Smith highlights now. I wish for a moment we could show the clip we showed to start this segment of the guys working out. That first receiver in the drills, I believe that to be Kendrick Bourne. Brandon, can you get him on the House of Athlete meal plan? I feel like my man Kendrick Bourne needs a sandwich or two. We were talking about Devontae Smith the other day. Devontae Smith and Kendrick Bourne go to the same health club, it would appear. So we need to get Kendrick Bourne a little weight on him. Maybe you can help him out. But my answer is Jonnu Smith, Wilds.
Okay, my take on the video was, Brandon, you can only go so hard as a football player in a baseball hat. You just can't. There's a limit to how much you're really grinding when you just have like a wide brim, flat brim hat. That, unless you're wearing Cam's beautiful Mashika hat. That's wonderful. All right, my answer is tight end TBD. The tight end era is back. We know that the Patriots have struggled mightily without their tight ends the last few years, but we are back. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Hunter? Is it going to be Jonnu? Doesn't matter. It's going to be both of them. Tight end TBD. Like it.
That's because they're tight ends down in Tampa. Let's head to Tampa, where, according to a report, Bucs haven't closed the door on bringing back wide receiver Antonio Brown. I mean, they pretty much brought everyone else back, but what's one more, said the girl who doesn't run their payroll. Hey, Brandon, the quarterback you want to see throwing to AB this season is blank.
Ooh, let me see. I don't have a watch on, but let me check my time.
Pretend.
Look, these guys are 3 weeks away from they're posting pictures and videos on social media of these two together, throwing together. This is Lamar. Lamar and AB